to the low 58s if he wants to progress into the top 5. So, Elite Kitchens. This boat up for sale. This is their the boat that they bought to compete in their rookie season and decided they're upgrading, and the rumour has it they might even be going straight into Superboat, but that's not confirmed in any way, shape or form. And this boat is actually a World Championship winning boat about 4 or 5 years ago under the helm of one Reginald Smith.
Well, it's good to see a boat out there with good history that is actually getting parted with it.
Yeah, that's right. And look, this boat is certainly a top quality boat. Oh, Sean just really knifed it into that left-hander. He's done that a couple of times. Doesn't seem to be able to quite nail that one. Threw a whole lot of water up into his face. That'll make it hard to see. Oh, no!
Oh.
Straight into the spin-out, pull backwards. And is the boat still floating? I can't see. The old firm window system signs in the way. The boat's still floating. That's a good sign. And that will be a DNF for Sean Rice. He just got bamboozled.
He did. He must have some for sale signs on there and wants some coverage.
Yeah, yep, absolutely. Bamboozled, befuddled, discombobulated. And that's the end of him for the day. So disappointing end of the day for the final round here of the New Zealand Jet Sprint Series, brought to you by Altherm Window Systems. We are currently in the Group A top 8 running order for Stinger boats, Stinger race hulls. So plenty more exciting action still to come. Don't worry about that. Our next boat to face the starter will be the MF King machine. Harry Whelans, Jason Conroy. I think what we do need to do is we need to go and have a chat to the crew from the rotor boat and find out what happened with that boat, with that shutdown. So hopefully we've got some people out there who can come up and give us a little bit of information on that one. But in the meantime, we will concentrate on what Harry Whelans is about to unleash. So Harry Whelans, Usain Bolt, and Usain Bolt, sorry, MF King. So Harry just really opened up that apex to get to the far side of the track in a very effective manner. I sort of thought when he came out that wide he was going to end up well and truly up on the dirt, but it worked very nicely. So Harry needs to get these times down into the low 58-second region if he wants to be progressing. So far you would suggest that the boat is handling well, probably down on a little bit of horsepower compared to some of the other boats in the Group A category. This is a nice run for the line, and it's a high 58, but that's the best time Harry Whelans has posted, 58.834. And he's actually gone a full second or thereabouts quicker than his previous best run. So nice time of the day to do that one, mate.
That's the time to be going forward.
Absolutely. Well, we saw what happened when Sean Rice went backwards in the spin-out pull. That is not the way to win a jet sprint event.
No, that's not too effective, is it?
All right, we've just got some another message through from Jason Keith, and he said, give everyone a shout out, mate. We've done that, and tell Richard Burt to make sure he puts Stephen Church, our American mate over here, visiting to work. So yeah, very good call, mate. I've seen Churchy do absolutely bugger all day, mate. He's been lazy as you like. Richard Burt coming into the commentary tower now, the man from the helmsman of the rotor boat. Richard, very quickly before we go to Bevan Muir, is the boat terminal? Are we going to see you in the finals?
The Curran Brothers boys are working here now, flat out in the pits. What happened, the air intake hose came off, sucked the vacuum line in, and it's mowed this turbo to bits like Wanganui. So they're going to try and put the Wanganui turbo on.
Righto, no worries. All right. We'll give you a bit more of an update with that one, but Bevan Muir and Kathy Muir out on track at the moment in the Ting Tools. This is the Stinger Group A category. Oh, Bevan, that was a brave line. The bow of the boat right over that island. I reckon another centimetre and he would have clipped the inside of that. And but Bevan Muir really pushing this 10 Tools machine very hard. Oh, he spat it out. Oh, he's parked it up on the beach. And that is the end of that. So, yeah, that is not a good way to end the day. Ladies and gentlemen, Bevan and Kathy Muir. All right, so we just heard very quickly from Richard Burt from the rotor boat. They sucked the air intake out and it's caused a vacuum problem which has thrown a whole heap of stuff into the turbo. So the Curran brothers, the engine builders, now down there trying to sort that problem out. So let's hope that we can see the rotor boat back on track, and looks like Bevan Muir has got a gut full of mud into the intake of the jet unit. So now got the boat fired back up again. He'll make his way back to the pits and park it up on the trailer, and that'll be the end of the couple from Thames for today's proceedings. So yeah, very, very disappointing end for that pair. The boys from Jolly Rogers are also tuning into our live stream. It's amazing the amount of people right around the world that are tuning into this, and it's just such a wonderful thing, and particularly down here in front of such a good crowd here at Wanaka. And I'm a big believer in that we need another event down here on the South Island, because every time the New Zealand National Series comes down here, it is well supported by the crowd, it is well supported by sponsors, and everybody rolls their sleeves up. The same happens up north, don't worry about that, but I really am an advocate for getting more jet sprinting down here on the South Island.
Yeah, well, I hear, and the South Island, especially down this end, is just full of petrol heads of all descriptions, and it just brings everyone together, really.
Yeah, it's a fantastic opportunity. So, somebody's trying to ring me. Don't ring me when I'm trying to work. You know, I won't get the phone. Righto, Neil Marshall, Eagle Automotive, and Tiffany Reid. These guys floating in and around about where they need to be for an overall championship. They're in equal fourth along with Ross Travers. So they really want to equip themselves really very well here in this top 8 run, set themselves a time that they know they can make slight adjustments to the boat, get a little bit more speed, and mostly finalise in your mind that track rotation, get it completely sorted out in your head, and then try to just develop this boat speed. So really this is a very important part of the day. Not only is it sudden death, if you get it wrong like Bevan Muir, you're out. It's that opportunity to reset and regroup and just be confident.
Well, just so much more pressure on the drivers and navigators at this level, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, and that pressure, you can see that people will either bloody chew on the pressure sandwich and some people choke, and at the moment it looks as though Neil Marshall through the line there with a 57.283, so that is Neil Marshall's best time by 1 second, so he will be absolutely wrapped with that. So, hey, you know what, mate?
Yo.
I was going to cook my fiancée a surprise Korean dish.
Oh, sounds lovely.
And you know what happened? It was going to be a secret. Surprise Korean dish. You know what happened? Some bugger left the cat out of the bag.
You're joking.
Yep, that was it. Dinner gone. All right, so we now go to Ollie Silverton in PSP Racing. So Ollie currently sitting on top of the overall championship in the Group A category, and starting to get a little bit jittery. His last run up into the top of the mouth pressure island at the top part of the track got a little bit jittery up there. The boat got unsettled up there. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes this time out. So, Ollie Silverton, Jess Sit, Sun Tough, PSP Building Products. Coming under starters orders and away for Ollie Silverton in the sprinting. Yeah, a lot better in and out of there. Looked at gaining. Look, Ollie, a fantastic driver. Only seen him make one or two major mistakes throughout the course of watching him over the years. And look, he'll certainly get this about. A little bit untidy around the stinger island. He needs to tidy that up a little bit. But I dare say that the way he's been driving so far today, while there's a few little blemishes here and there, if he just keeps cool, remains calm, he'll get into the top 5 and from there has a very good opportunity of taking the overall championship. So that's what he's got to keep in the back of his mind.
That's right, you just got to get through a round at a time.
Yeah, that's right. It's the old cliche, the footballers, you know, one round at a time, one game at a time, you know, teamwork, all those sorts of things. And, well, we get bored with the cliches, but they are also very, very true. Ollie Silverton now into the finish chute. Ollie Silverton into P2 with a 57.804. So Ollie Silverton will progress into the top 5.
Hang on.
Robbie White is going to be the first super.
Hey, got some good news. Robert White didn't actually make it into the top 8 of the super boats, but we're going to see him again. He's actually going to take a sponsor out for a ride, so we look forward to that because Robert White, one of the local blokes, an absolute ripping bloke as well. Looking forward to seeing some big things from him. Now, Carl, what are you doing, mate?
Here you go, buddy.
Righto. So, mate, what happened to Maroon 2?
Oh, it just really wasn't our day today. Made a few changes to the boat during the week just to tidy a few things up and went out on the track and, yeah, it didn't quite come together.
Yeah, it goes backwards sometimes, mate, but right, while you're here with me, we'll keep an eye on what Rick Burke and Elf Kill are going to do. Reigning world champions. Do you spend a lot of time watching these guys, I suppose, because you're in the group with them? You don't?
Oh, absolutely. These guys are the sort of guys that we look up to.
And so do you have a chat to these guys and ask them for any advice and tidbits of information throughout the course of the racing?
Yeah, Rick's one of those guys. He'll come and have a yarn to us, see how our day's going. Yeah, offer any advice and we'll tell him what's going on. And, yeah, he's real good to talk to and he's an awesome guy.
Yeah, you look, and they're very, very funny couple of blokes as well. They are always good value to have a chat to and stick a microphone in front of their face as well. But so what are you thinking about how this lap is going for them?
Oh no, it's looking real tidy. He's got this thing dialed in real good.
Oh, that is a good time, 57.444 into P2 for Rick Burke. Neil Marshall still quickest in the top 8. So thanks, Carl, for coming up and having a chat, mate. Disappointing not to see you out into the finals, but particularly when all your mates coming down local to the track and that's the one thing you want to do is show your mates how good you are and then you have a bugger of a day.
Oh, absolutely. And, yeah, awesome to see all the crowd out there today and all our fans. And, yep, thanks very much. Awesome.
Good on you. Carl Brentsall there, ladies and gentlemen, from Marooned 2. So we will now go to the Novus Auto Glass machine of Simon Gibbon and Paul Tomo Thompson, the boys from North Canterbury. They are in the hunt for the overall championship, currently sitting second behind Ollie Silverton. So the Novus Auto Glass machine now coming off the trailer. The crew chiefs have given them the okay, the thumbs up, reversing now. So L. Johnson Construction, Woodbank Park Cottages, King Watercraft, Justin Neal Engineering and Performance Autos. So that's some of the sponsors on board with these guys. Cy Gibbon, Novus Auto Glass, taking the boat out very wide, waiting for the water to settle, but it's about as settled as it's going to be because the wind is howling up the track and will be creating problems for the drivers and the navigators. So Cy Gibbon, Novus Auto Glass now. Oh, probably bogged that down a little bit. He has been smoother through there.
Came in on a bit of a different line this time, didn't he?
Yeah, he certainly did. It's interesting because he's been using the line that we thought was probably not the best to great effect and took a different line.
Yeah, well, that's why we're in here, I suppose.
Well, That's just the way it goes. So just eased off the throttle going into that left-hander nicely. Got the boat settled down. Oh, geez, where was he going there? Went out super wide to make that left-hander. He looked like Grandma when they turning left into a driveway, go out to the opposite lane and turn left.
What, I think he's got a trailer on.
Wow, that was... well, I'll tell you what, that's the side that the Navigator sits on, so I'll bet you the Navigator was, well, a little bit worried, but I don't think Simon would have been. This is a good run, 57.339 into P2. Still, Neil Marshall the quickest in the top 8 of the Group A, with Ross Travers in Radioactive still to run. So at the moment, Harry Whelans is sitting on the bubble. Sean Rice is out. We saw him go backwards into the spin out. Paul Bevan Muir is out. We saw him park it up on the opposite side of the track to the commentary. So Harry Whelans now sitting on the bubble, which means that the boys in the Radioactive team need to beat a time of 58.8.
Yeah, well, they have done a 56, so let's hope.
Well, you know, we have seen the Radioactive boys go wrong way through the course of the day. Their first time going wrong way for the entire season. Maybe it's the pressure, maybe not, but...
Could
well,
be the altitude.
Could be the altitude, absolutely. Well, I'm starting to get a bit dizzy. Just waiting for... Yes, Radioactive now coming out of the launch pool. Lining up the chute, waiting for the green light. Ross and Shane Travers now, Super Mario. Smooth, very, very smooth around the mouth fresh, roundabout at the top part of the track. And very smooth around that Stinger Boats Island as well for the right-hander. So you would suggest at this point that if they can keep this momentum, keep this speed, the track direction, big back off into that left-right handing section, which seems to be working to pretty good effect. How's he going to go into the hairpin? Nice again. Look, Ross is just all over this lap at the moment. Well, yeah, they really got this rotation absolutely spot on ski at the moment. So now in the run for the line, this is going to be quick. This will be very quick. 56.601. That's quick time of the day, ladies and gentlemen. So here's how it's going to go into the top 5 for the Group A from slowest to fastest. PSP Racing, Ollie Silverton, Rick Burke, 222 Racing, Simon Gibbon, Novus Autoglass, Neil Marshall in the Eagle Automotive, and that man, Ross Travers, going quickest into the top 5 for the Group A.